Okay, dear. Hi. So we're doing a little bit of a different reading today. You are asking about protection, right? Or if your mom is going to be safe. And so before we even do anything, I want you to go ahead and take a nice deep breath because this is a lot of feelings. This is a lot of upheaval, right? And what I want you to do is just take a deep breath on 1, 2, and 3 with me. Even place your hand over your chest and kind of get that anxiety out. I want you to be as grounded as possible, right? So take another deep breath. 1, 2, and 3. I'm hearing one more because really we come together to ask for clarity and guidance, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So how I work this is we are going to be working with tarot and oracle cards because you're really just wanting to know, like, is your mom safe? Is your mom okay? And immediately whenever I look at your mom and your situation, I feel like there's just a lot of grief. And I know you told me you guys are like, you're going through it, right? You're going through deep, deep situation. And I get it. I get it. I get it. So mostly whenever you're thinking about like safety, is your mom safe in the home, right? Somebody is also talking about dad's spirit in the home. Did he pass in the home? And you can verify that in the comments. Like his spirit is everywhere. I think your dad comes through a little bit and talks about like she was the love of his life. Did they meet really young? And then like how did you... They're talking about losing things in like a fire or a situation that's just not really been great for you guys, right? I don't know what's happening here, but we definitely need to take a really deeper picture, right? Of like just general safety. Okay, so first of all, somebody also comes in and talks about the passing. His passing in general was kind of sudden, and you can let me know in the comments, in whatever, through a text message, if that is correct or not. But 8 of Wands, we're kind of just looking at like, is she safe? And I think like, hold on, I'm asking. So somebody keeps talking about her mental health. And I know 8 of Wands, she is grieving, but it's in the reverse position. And it's almost like we're in our own way. But also the 8 of Wands talks about like new energy and new things coming up. However, that neighborhood is just not great for her. But that's like somebody talks about like that's the house she wants to die in. She wants to stay in it forever. She's just kind of rooted here, right? And I just hear a lot of crying, a lot of screaming. It's almost like your dad's loss was super sudden. If he was sick, it was almost like he went so quick that it became unexpected. And hopefully that makes sense for you. But with this 8 of Wands, we're really talking about like kneeling on our inner resources, okay? She needs to kind of depend a little bit more on her inner team. Maybe this is her inner spiritual team, but ultimately I think she's going to be protected. Does she pray a lot? Like, are you guys like Catholic or religious or anything? Because I see her kind of praying, and it's almost like, I got this, I got this, I got this. I can take care of myself. Why are you worrying about me? It's almost like we have that mentality, but we are just really fucking struggling over here. And I'm so sorry, like the loss you have. It's so tragic and heavy. Were they like high school sweethearts? Because somebody is like talking about how they were like young and in love and like he was kind of like her everything, right? So whenever we look at the Nine of Swords, oh, we're just really going through it. I think mental health wise, she's like if she struggled with any type of mental health for a little bit, like we are probably not okay here. The Nine of Swords, anytime we see the swords, that is our air element, and anything from the neck up, which is, you know, our mental health, our mental struggles, our inner voice, how we talk to ourselves, what we say about external situations. So this Nine of Swords, man, that's pretty heavy. As far as safety is concerned, we also have, I think her biggest problem is herself. The neighbors feel kind of like naggy in a way. Is this like particular neighbors? Somebody's also coming in and talking about like owing money. Did somebody owe money to these people? But yeah, just talking about like kind of owing money, things with like abundance. Like, was this some type of argument? It's almost like your father was like accused of something. I don't know. And somebody comes in and says like things like she doesn't want to believe it, she doesn't want to deal with it. But it mostly just feels like this is drama. This is festering years worth of just drama. Somebody does come in and say like they're not serious, but their actions make them seem serious. I don't think they're gonna break. Like it's almost like they said, "I'm gonna break in the middle of the night and like fuck you up, or I'm gonna kill you." Like really threatening things, and she's just like, "What the fuck ever?" Like she's so overwhelmed with her loss that she can't process really what they're saying. Like what they're saying really doesn't affect her. Um, but Six of Swords talks about a personal transition. It's in the reverse position. You, as a family as a whole, are really going through it right now, and I'm so sorry, and I deeply apologize that this is even a thing that you have to like fucking deal with on top of your grief. You shouldn't be bothered by bullshit people. But Nine of Swords in the reverse position talks about a personal transition, but also being resistant to change. I think she's gonna like hold on to a lot of your dad's stuff whenever you could be like, okay, it's time to move on. We gotta like, I worry about her staying in the house. Somebody talks about her staying in the house too much. Like it's almost like she's gonna get to a point where she doesn't want to go out. She doesn't want to do anything. So I think the real problem is her mental health struggle here. I think she is safe from individuals. I think there are a lot of talk and no bark. But if you truly do feel like you don't want to leave her alone, take a police report out on them. 100%. They can't threaten her. How dare they? And in her time like this, like, no, they need to shut the fuck up and sit down. You can also put down spiritual boundaries where if you are somebody spiritual, if you're like, no, I just pray, you can pray all around the house for protection and that nobody can get inside the house. That is not supposed to. That's not for your mom's highest good, right? And you can ask your spiritual team for that. Obviously, yes, Muggle you can, in this 3D life, like file a police report and be like, they threatened my mom. And this is what's happening, and I don't want them near my mother. Point blank, period. If you're really that like worried, I suggest you go that route. Somebody's coming in and talking about not leaving her alone. And I think leaving her alone with her grief is going to be the real problem because this Nine of Swords, man, and all these swords cards, shit is heavy in her mental health right now. Like she's not okay. She's personally not okay. And I think that's where that we shouldn't leave her alone is coming from. Things with the neighbors don't seem to be getting better. I think eventually she's probably gonna need to leave the house or move the house. If you're unable to move for whatever reason, you're gonna have a long fight. Like these people seem very nasty, and that's why I say like file a police report, do the spiritual boundaries. You can also like do certain things to protect your home, to protect your property. And it just really depends on where you are in your spiritual journey to do that. But I would definitely be doing all the above if we felt like mom's safety was an issue here. It looks like the biggest issue is going to be her being safe from herself, her dark thoughts not taking over. We have the Tower coming in. The Tower talks about upheaval, chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of drama. I would definitely take somebody talking about taking their threats seriously, but also her silence seriously. She feels eerily calm. Like, I wouldn't leave her alone for like the next 6 months, really too much. If you can be with her as much as you can, but I think it's just going to be her with her grief journey is going to be really, really intense. And also, like, there's going to be this huge fear of change because she has to move on without your dad, and that's going to be real shit. So please, please, please take it seriously. I wouldn't leave her alone right now. Even if she wants to be alone, I would continuously check in on her and just be like, hey, I'm worried about you. I'm not trying to smother you, but I need to make sure you're okay. And you know your mom best. I wouldn't leave her alone. Somebody's talking about dealings. Did your dad have like dealings, or were there dealings of some kind with this other neighbor that could have like sparked this? Because this is like, it came out of nowhere, but not, because it's a wound that has really festered for a long time. And you guys are just really not doing okay as a whole, and then they put this shit on top of you. It's almost like they picked this time to fuck everything up. But Two of Cups, like, ultimately, do I think your mom's going to be okay in the long run? Yes, I do think your mom's going to be okay in the long run. She needs people, whether she wants to admit she needs people. I think she's like, I'm just going to take care of everything. I'm just going to clean. I'm just going to organize. And whatever happens, happens. It's almost like she's in the mental state of, I'm okay if their threats are real. I'm okay if I just go. Like, she's very kind of numb with her peace. And that's the part, like, this mental health over here that we really need to worry about. And that's why I say, like, with the Tower here, don't leave her alone. Have a unified front. And even if she is of the mindset like, oh, they'll never do anything to me, what are you talking about? This is insane. This is crazy. I would go ahead and take the lead here, because she is not really looking out for her personal safety, because she doesn't really fucking care anymore, to be honest. So she needs, Two of Cups is our water element and our emotional energy. She needs people that are going to look out for her. And unfortunately, this time is not really a time where your mom's going to be mentally and emotionally able to be there for you, like mother you. You're going to have to, collaborate and mother her and kind of batten down the hatches. And somebody talks about protecting the home. So I think that's going to be a really good thing for you to do. Ultimately, do I think she's going to be physically safe? From the people, yes. From herself, maybe not. So I would continuously check in on her. Have a lot of people check, not just you, like multiple family members, friends, bring in food, bring in flowers, calling, texting, not bombarding her, but it's to the point to where she just can't be left alone. And it's going to be heavy like this for the next 6 months. Like, it's not an overnight thing. This is a huge loss. And again, I am so sorry that this happened to you. Because somebody talks about him being sick, and it's just like a sudden death, though. Like, it's real weird. Like, we were prepared, but unprepared. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing Moon, that is your oracle card for this reading. And it kind of talks about, I feel like, this shit with whoever this argument is with these people. It's almost like her naivete or her relaxedness or lack of reaction is kind of just pissing these people off even more. And I don't know why. It's like they want her to fight with them. Is this like inner family drama? Because these people want her to fight, and she's just like, I'm not going to fight you. Like, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. And so I think that's why this, like, this energy is just, it's keeping going, man. But the answers we need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, which is really fucking funny because we're ending the full moon energy in Gemini right now. So I think that's a confirmation of spirit that you're supposed to be getting this reading, that you're supposed to be hearing these messages. I would, in the coming months, pay attention to how people act instead of paying attention to how people, and paying attention to what people say. Okay, that is going to be your main thing to decide, because now it's going to be like, well, who's going to really be there in my time of need versus who just pretends that they're going to be there. And I think that's going to be the better path for you to take. Listen to how people act, how they show up for you and your mother, not what the fuck people say. Surrender to the divine. Full moon. We are coming off of a full moon. So this, again, is beautiful energy for you. I think eventually you guys are going to be okay. You are hitting a lot of rough spots, and a lot of prayer, a lot of leaning on each other. This is weird. What's going on with the situation? Because I see like envelopes being passed, money being exchanged. Was this like a partnership where they're like, that your dad died and like they didn't get payout or something? Like, it just feels very different. Like there was a promise made and it just wasn't fulfilled, and it's almost like your mom is responsible now for the end of this bargain. It's really different. Please let me know, and you can validate that in the comments. So live a fantasy. I think it's weird because somebody says it's like the mom acts like your dad's still kind of here. Like in her mind, it's kind of like she hasn't quite accepted his death fully. And they also talk about like she talks to them. I think he visits her in the home. Like they have a very strong connection. And I keep seeing a rosary or some type of, like, this is a pendulum, but it's like you can meditate with it too, like some type of something like this. And like praying, like she's praying to him, she's walking around, she's talking to him, she's crying, she's yelling, she's screaming, but like she is in turmoil in private, but whenever you see her, it's like, okay, whatever. Like she just acts a very different way in private than she is around people. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Perception is reality. Don't forget it. So this is going to be your final and last card. I do think that ultimately she's going to be safe. However, her mental health journey is a problem, and that's definitely going to need to be taken seriously. Do not leave her alone within the next few months. Somebody's talking about taking away the pills. Are there like prescription drugs or anything in the home, or they're showing me wine? Like, make sure there's no addictive substances around her. I would take all that away because she's going to use that as a crutch. But how you perceive the world around you this coming months, and I know you're grieving too, is going to be what kind of comes to you. If you feel like you are in chaos and you are in deep shit, that type of energy is going to attract. So somebody's also showing me contracts. Make sure any contracts that your family had before your dad died are nip-tucked. They're talking about the estate. Make sure you take care of anything like that, because I don't really feel like your mom is able to handle anything as far as that is concerned. So it's going to be up to you to kind of take care of that and step in a way that's kind of like the leader of the family. Like you're going to be taking care of her more than she is able to take care of you. And unfortunately, that is just the way the cookie crumbled here. But you are stronger than you know, and you can 100% get through this loss. Is it going to be harder to not have your mom to lean on whenever she is going to be leaning on you so much? 1000% yes. But you're going to have to kind of fake it till you make it here and be the strong one in this situation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns after the reading, please reach out. I am 1000% available via text message. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me. If you want to book another reading, it's psychiclexi.com. I would love it after this reading if you left a review. But I'll send you a picture of your cards momentarily, and I will let you know. Have a great day. Thank you for booking with me.